Um, wait, hold on. Let me change. All right. All right. So I just want to make a reflection of what I have just been doing today. Um, I've been reading about the guidebook of the NUDC, and I have learned about the type of motion and how the motion is nuanced, and I also learned about the topic the most prominent topics that I have to read from news or article, such as artificial intelligence and its relation to like morality or maybe philosophy, something like that, and the economy, which I don't have I'm really bad in economy, like in general, I don't have basic knowledge. I must say that I don't have even the basic knowledge of economy, and that shit, I don't know, it's bad, I think. Even if I know, it's really minimum. And also about feminism, health. From the previous NUDC, there is motion there is motion about anti-senescence, or senescence, something like that, and about media or journalistic, regional organization like NATO or ASEAN, that I have to focus because again, this is my weakness. I don't really have knowledge about regional organization. Next, there is law, there is science like nuclear. From the previous NUDC, there was a motion about nuclear reaction that has been established in Indonesia. They exist. There are nuclear reactors in Banten, Jakarta, and Yogyakarta, and also in Kalimantan, I believe, and also in Jawa Barat, but I don't know where exactly. And then the next is ideology, democracy, liberalism, something like that. I don't have in-depth knowledge about it. And then regulation, next one, lastly regulation like tax, for example, and yeah, something like that. That's something that I should be focused on, just to back up my, because what is the point of me debating if I don't have even the base knowledge of those things that I have just mentioned. And also I have learned about I'm trying to not look up to guidebook because I actually don't know what I have just learned most of the time, but um as a way of as a way for me to be familiar, I think it works, by just reading the guidebook without even practicing, to get myself, familiar with the rules, the terminologies. I've learned about burdens, for example. Burdens is something that, for example, if you're from the government bench, from the opening government, burdens is something that you have to prove. So, for example, the motion about this house this house believes um, this house would impose sugar tax, for example. So the burdens is that you have to prove why you as a government should impose sugar tax, and also about the scope, that you as a government also should really consider this part, this component of debate, the scope or the, I think the framing. Sometimes I'm really confused about the differences between these terminologies. So I believe it's scope, like the scope as like the area of the area that you are debating. So for example, um, sugar tax, for example, like um, you should define like what kind of sugar, like you should like define clearly what is this, what is sugar in your in your own in your own definition. Like, okay, you're trying to impose sugar tax, but what kind of sugar? Like, because there are lots of like type, like sugar from real fruit, added sugar, and then sugar from like ultra processed fruit, something like that. So you must to make a clear imagery of what is the sugar that you are trying to, like, that you are imposing. um you are trying to, like, decide to give tax. I have very bad knowledge about tax. What, fuck, man. Yes, tax. I just learned the exempt tax, I think, tax exemption. I don't know what that is still, but from what I have just read, like, very fast, tax exemption is that that if government didn't give a certain um individual like tax, they didn't they didn't force individuals to pay tax for some reason. For example, like the worship house, something like that, tax exemption. And then what else? Yeah, I have learned about framing, scope, um, about squirreling. Yeah, I believe it was squirreling. So you have to define your, so as a opening government, especially the prime minister, you have to define like clearly, and you cannot define something like unfairly narrow. Like, you must be you cannot off from the motion. So for example, if um okay, I'll give you another motion, not the sugar tax motion, the motion about, okay, this house believes that society should, wait, uh, hold on, I still have the this house believes that the pursuit of wealth is immoral. Okay, so I've learned, so this house believes that the pursuit of wealth is immoral. So you cannot only focus on these specific actors. For example, you cannot, like, excluding the non-marginal actors. For example, wait, hold on. I forgot the pursuit of wealth. So the pursuit of wealth. So who are going to pursue the wealth? Who are going to pursue the wealth? For example, you for example, this whole society. So it means the lower, if we simplify, it could be the lower, the middle, and the the rich people, the wealthy people, right? So you cannot exclude the most the most you know the majority of these people, which are the lower and the middle class people. But you cannot, but excluding the you can excluding the marginal um, group, which is the rich or the wealthy people. But you have to give like a clear, like justification of why do you exclude these specific groups or individual, which is a burden for you. Like it's not like which is a difficult task at least for me now, like because it's kind of hard, because I think um, it can be our weaknesses that can be exploited by the opposition later. I don't know what opposition might say about why do you excluding the wealthy one. I don't know. And also I learned that as an opposition, you have to be aware about the definition that the government has brought. You have to be aware about that, because if you're um, if you're not focused, if you're not listening to the especially the prime minister, um, the prime minister could be very smart, that can set um, the motion, like really um, really advantageous for them, but it's bad for you. So if you are already trapped in that, and you don't know how to like respond. So for example, if the prime minister doesn't really give you a clear definition, or they give a definition with this kind of narrow but also still debatable definition, so it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for you as opposition. All right, so that's basically that I have just learned. And I'm really hungry right now. Like my stomach really hurts. Kind of hurts actually, not really that hurts. So let me see the NED guidebook real quick. So yeah, I still have many things to explore, and it's been great for me to know all of this, and I think I'm ready to like start to like really build my case, like really like seriously, not like the previous motion that I'm trying to debate. It was like really fucked up, as I mentioned in the previous stream. Like I only I only I can only like give my present my argument within in 2 minutes. Like fuck man, like. And also it wasn't really great, in terms of the situation I was in, because I was like in campus's canteen, and I was like just waiting for another meeting that I was going to um, I was going to in. And yeah, so that's why I think I'm. And yesterday I was really fucked up yesterday. um, and also just for the evaluation for today's preparation, even though I was mostly I've been just reading a lot, but in between the session, because I wasn't using like Pomodoro technique or something like that. I was just reading until I get bored, or until I like really fucked up, like until I can think anymore. um, because of that, I was like reaching for my phone a lot, and just scrolling, just opening IG in my web browser, Facebook in my web browser, opening WhatsApp and shit, just checking something that I wasn't really have any intention to check. So it was like um like it was just like the phone, like it was controlling my mind. I don't know. So like it's kind of hard for me. And it's kind of I think Pomodoro technique is not like something that I really like. Sometimes when I set the timer, sometimes when it starts, it's time for me to break. I just feel like I'm really focused. I can break right now. It's just delete it, something like that. And then it only lasts for like one session, and then the next session, and then for the next session, I didn't really use Pomodoro technique anymore. Just close the app and then move on. Yeah, so between the session I was reaching my phone a lot, and for my English improvement, I think um, it's been good. It's been really good for me. I Most of the time I am really comfortable, and also I've been learning about very um, vocabularies that relates to debate or just like overall topic, like what I've just said, economy, law, a lot, especially the like vocabularies like legitimate, feasible, denote, aspire, plausible, vocabularies that I rarely find in literature. um, yeah, it's been great to know, and I think it's fun to like just look up in dictionary, and because I have already known like most of the basic vocabulary, so it's very easy for me to understand the high the advanced version vocabulary. And sometimes I found it really hard to understand certain words, because it's I think it's really abstract, that I have to like imagine the subject is like it's very hard for me, because I have to imagine like this in abstract level. And but I think it was a great exercise, not gonna lie. So it was still a great exercise. And for the pronunciation, I have never been worried about my pronunciation, but I'm always trying to like give like clear pronunciation, clear, like I mean, what I mean by clear is like articulated. I'm always trying to be articulated, but not when I have ulcer in my tongue, because man, that was yeah, I was having an ulcer for like 2 days. It wasn't that severe. I thought it was gonna be like really fucked up shit, like I was in like I was experiencing in like 2 months ago or 3 months ago. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's all for the evaluation. And I want to eat, and then I want to continue the shit, and I want to just chilling and shit. You know what I mean? So peace out. It's Monday now, yes, and tomorrow is Saturday, Tuesday. Um, about my partner, shit, my partner is really fucked up. I mean, my partner, this debate partner, that I have, is uh, I'm not used to judge people, but he's not responsible with his duty. I don't know if he's been practicing in his own, but every time I try to, invite him like literally like every day, I want to like practice every day with him, but like there's always an excuse for him to not. For example, like the last one, he contacted me that he found his phone just died, and he just fixed that like at that day, and so he couldn't. And then this morning I contacted him again. Just contact me anytime. Just tell me when will you be available. I will be ready anytime. And he still haven't responded to my contact. As it's not really, I don't really care about it, to be honest. Like um, personally, I feel like I benefit um, myself from this activity, like for real, like I got huge benefit from this, you know. I get huge benefit from doing this, from practicing this, from knowing this, you know, because I don't know, like it's fun, you know, it's fun, and also knowing that it also supports your other parts of your life, like your communication skill, your English skill, your overall like confidence, your rhetorical skills. It's really motivating just from that, even though I will not get anything, because it also supports um, my main I think goal that I want to like continue my study to master's degree. So I think that's motivating me enough, and I am really grateful for this opportunity. Yeah. So I think that's all for 21 minutes. Shit, yeah. I think that's all. Bye.